Good evening. Again, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing another video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. And I want to talk about the difference between pornography and other types of tasteful content, erotic possibly, but not necessarily, and a good way to differentiate them. So, for starters, not all nudity constitutes pornography, and not all pornography must involve nudity. So it's not a simple matter, or is it? So here's the thing. As I've mentioned in many of my videos, the definition of something doesn't hinge on the snapshot. It hinges instead on the intention behind the behavior, what its intended purpose is, for example, and the actual effect, the actual use of it. So these two things are going to define what's in the middle. Not so much the symbol taken out of context, not so much the description or the snapshot of it, but the spirit behind it and the actual effect that it has. So with that said, I want to point out that there are a lot of videos online, and I want to mention that there's a line between types of sensual videos. There is obviously the commercial porn that will involve recruitment of people in an organized way with a payroll, possibly with a staff and a formal business model. And then you have a whole different type that isn't the same and isn't necessarily toxic at all. And this involves people who aren't seeking compensation necessarily. It's this is kind of rare actually, but you see this sometimes. Many times a person will just, feel sensual and they want to, be, kind and generous online, and they reach out and they enjoy the attention or whatever. And it's not always about money or even, clicks or subscriptions, but many times that's an incentive for some people, but not every time. My point is that there's a type of expressionism that may involve sensuality and or nudity perhaps, that is completely healthy and beneficial to the person and other people. And the point at which it becomes unhealthy is the point where it becomes monetized. It becomes categorically unhealthy because if you think about the example of human reproduction throughout the course of human history, if you think about something that I learned about in college biology called non-random mating. Non-random mating is extremely important for the survival of a species. Non-random mating is exactly what it sounds like. It is the selection, the deliberate and careful selection of mates by members of the species. Without it, there is no quality control. There is no thinning of the herd in terms of reproduction. There is no culling of undesirable traits or characteristics. They just kind of fall apart. And non-random mating is in humans takes the shape of finding an attractive or desirable mate, somebody who is worth your attention and whose attention towards you is a compliment. That's what it looks like. So the problem here, when you have commercialized sensuality, the moment there's money involved, such as in pornography or prostitution, you've heard of prostitution, is that it becomes random. Okay, it's not that it's improper necessarily. It's not that it's immoral. Those may be the case, but I'm not disputing those right now. I'm saying that it becomes random, and this is why it's a problem. In principle, if everyone were to do that, if everyone were to mate with whoever shows up with a buck in their hand, there would be no quality control. It would undermine the very principles of human reproduction in terms of the species. And this is why it's a problem. So I want to wrap up this video. It's not going to be a big, long, deep dive into any particular subject, but I want to reiterate that not all nudity is pornographic. And not all pornography must include nudity. There's a very fine line between proper and improper, and it boils down to the spirit behind it and the actual effect. Was the spirit meant to be giving and generous and innocent, or was it meant to line somebody's pockets? Was it meant to pay bills? Was it meant to recruit people? Because this is a big deal. The moment you start recruiting people, you're creating a big, huge influence, and you've crossed a very important line. You're influencing people and changing their whole lives because of it. That's not okay. And most of the videos that you see online that happen to have sensuality, I think, fall into the category of being harmless, except for the ones where you have to, where they're asking for payment. They're getting monetized somehow by people. That crosses a line as well. So last thing, and in summary, in conclusion, anything, not just content, not just videos, but anything you can think of is defined by the spirit behind it. That is the cause and the effect. Not so much what's in the middle, not so much the symbolic description, the legal description, the instant offense, whatever have you. It is the actual motive and effect only, every time. Reach out if you have questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.